Hi everybody, today I've got a slightly different video to what I normally do. For those of you who have seen my other videos on YouTube, I normally do fishing videos, and I might do a few productreview.com.au videos reviewing some new products that have come out and they've asked me to review. In this particular case, I'm not reviewing anything new, I'm actually reviewing this old Victa lawnmower. So this has been my trusty lawnmower for the last 23 years. And it's been an absolute workhorse and just an amazing lawnmower, and that's why I'm doing a review today, just to show you how great this lawnmower is, and it just deserves to be complimented on how good this lawnmower is and how well it's operated over the years. I bought this in 2002, that's when it came out. It was the Golden Anniversary edition of the Victa mowers. Obviously Golden Anniversary means 50 years, so the first Victa came out in 1952 in Australia, and this particular model came out in 2002, marking the 50th anniversary, hence the gold colour and why it looks like that. It's, you know, quite an interesting colour. The crazy thing is at the time when I bought this, I was actually driving a car that was very similar in colour. I had an SS Commodore, Holden Commodore, that was this colour. Gold colour was like the real in thing at the time. So when this mower came out in this gold colour, it was really something. I know that a lot of people commented and went, wow, look at your lawnmower, looks absolutely amazing, looks fantastic. What I've got here also next to it is the latest mower I'm using. It's not brand new, it's probably about 5 years old, I think, about that. I actually inherited that lawnmower. It's actually a battery powered Victa. It's quite an unusual one. It's 82 volt. You don't see 82 volts out there. You can't even buy a battery for that anymore. It sort of came out very quickly and ended very quickly for Victa. They've moved on, I think, to 18 volts or 36 volts, something like that. But that's the one I use, much quieter. I don't think it's as good as the gold edition, but it's got its, you know, it's a battery powered, so it's got its pros and cons, just like any other mower. But this one here, 2002 I bought it. At the time I owned a quarter-acre block. I had about 450 square metres of lawn that I used to look after. That lawn was a bent grass, what you normally find on golf courses on the greens, putting greens that is, and so it used to grow very rapidly. I used to mow twice a week. It used to be really thick, and this thing used to power through it. A lot of hard work. It actually did an amazing job back then. It was a fantastic mower. I did that for about 7 years. So I actually bought the mower in Collie, so that's where I was living. At the time, there were two in the shop. I went to the local mower shop in Collie. They had two, both the gold edition. One was 2-stroke and one was 4-stroke. I went for the 2-stroke model. The reason why I went for that is the 2-strokes generally have less maintenance. As long as you mix the oil right in the petrol, you shouldn't have any problems with the mower. So you got to make sure you do the right ratio. The 25:1 is for this particular mower, and I've always made sure that I mix the right ratio of oil to fuel. And yeah, never let me down. The only thing I've ever done to this mower is I've changed the blades on it. It's got 4 blades underneath, simply because I just wore those blades out and had to change them quite a few times. But also the only other thing I've done to it is I've actually replaced the spark plug. I didn't replace the spark plug because the spark plug needed replacing. I actually broke it by accident. I hit a wall when I was mowing and it broke the top of the spark plug off, and I had to go and buy a new one and replace it. But that was about 20 years ago, and haven't changed it since. And believe it or not, this mower just starts up every single time, first go. Don't even have to put the choke on, you just put it on start and bang, it fires up every single time. So it's absolutely amazing. Little story, at the time, someone who I worked with also went out to that same shop. They went a week later. I bought mine for $520. They came back and came to work and said, hey, guess what? I bought the 4-stroke model and I paid $10 less than you. And the crazy thing is that I occasionally keep in touch with this particular person I worked with, but they contacted me about 5 years ago and said, guess what, the mower died and I had to go and buy a new one. And guess what, mine's still going and still works like a treat. Okay, yeah, mine cost $10 more, but I think definitely got my $10 worth out of that exchange. What I can say is that it's always worked really hard. When I mowed my lawns in Collie, like I said, I used to do it twice a week, 450 square metres. And then when I moved to Bunbury, I built a house, I put a couch, wintergreen couch lawn down. I used to mow that twice a week to make it look perfect. And what I used to also do was every year in spring, I'd scalp the lawn. I'd actually cut it right down to the roots, and so it can regenerate. And what used to happen is I used to cut about 20 240 litre bins, the wheelie bins, 240 litres, about 20 of those full of grass. They just have to take down the tip. So this thing used to just plough through it and cut it. It worked really hard, did an amazing job, never let me down once. And like I said, every single time I pulled that cord, it started up first time. Just absolutely amazing. Even after 23 years, it still starts up every time. And just been an amazing mower. Since I've been living here, same thing, I've been mowing here with it. But lately I've moved over to the battery powered, but this one still comes out when I need to do some serious work. The beauty about this thing is that it actually sucks up all the leaves and just does a really good job. Actually does a better job than the battery powered one. That's a 2-blade mower, this is a 4-blade. This one probably rotates a lot faster than that one. So you can just see it's got advantages. Okay, makes a bit of smoke and stuff. That's why I like to use that one. No fumes, less noise. But this one's still the reliable workhorse that does an amazing job. It's got the Briggs & Stratton motor. I think most Victas have those if they're a petrol model. This one's a 2-stroke. You got to mix the fuel and oil, 2-stroke oil at a ratio of 25:1. Also, it's an 18-inch width deck on there. It's also 4-blade. It does the mulch or catch, so you can put a plug in there and it actually mulches the grass, which is actually a good feature. It actually feeds your lawn. Obviously you've got to do it in the right time of year so you don't spread disease or anything like that, but it's actually quite good, and it's a feature that I've used a fair bit, particularly if I go and fertilise the lawn. You don't want to be sucking it all up. Sometimes you have to put the plug in there, get it mulched, and make sure that I'm not picking up stuff I shouldn't be picking up. And so absolutely great mower. The catch has been great. I love the vents there. You can open and close them. As you can see here, you can close it or you can open it, or somewhere in between. Absolutely brilliant. For me, that just saves getting a whole heap of dry grass getting blown into your garden beds and making a mess of things around the place, especially if you're cutting pretty hard or cutting dry grass. It can get quite messy. So if you take a closer look, you can see there's a fair bit of wear and tear. Probably one of the noticeable things is here is the air intake hose that goes up to where the throttle control is. What you can see here is that because I always fold down the handle, it's actually folded that hose and it's caused it to split. And what I've done is over the years I've just wrapped tape around it, and every time it split a little bit more, I put more tape around, and you can see it looks a bit rough. But the thing is, though, you put that tape around, stops it from leaking air or sucking air through there and sucking grass and dirt without going through the filter. And so it looks a little bit untidy, but does the job. You can see quite a few of the stickers are missing. There used to be a badge on here. Can't even remember what it even said, but it did have a badge on there, and also had a sticker around here. I'll probably show you a picture of what the thing looked like originally. You can find some pictures on the net of the mower. Not a lot of information about the mower in its day, but there is still some pictures around. But you used to have a sticker on here that said Golden Anniversary, 50th anniversary or something like that around there. That came off, fell off, don't know what happened to it, but it's gone. You can see even like some of the where the catcher is, the catcher, the height adjustment here. You can see the sticker's worn off there, and the wheels, some of the tread's worn off a fair bit on those. If you go around, you can see quite a few scratches, and probably the interesting thing is, here's the spark plug. You can see where I used to scrape the wall a fair bit. It's broken the rubber off the cover. The main thing is you don't put your finger near there, because you'll probably get a nice little shock from it. You can see here, The interesting thing is you can see where I've rubbed against the wall. Now, I was telling you about the spark plug getting broken. You can see it there where the rubber's actually been ripped off it, and but it still works fine. It still operates. Main thing is you don't put your finger or something near it when it's running, because you get a nice zap from that. And if you go a bit further down, you can see how much wear and tear this mower's had. You can see just there the metal been scraped, where I scrape against walls and brick walls and things like that. It's actually worn out the metal right down. The crazy thing is it's actually allowed me now to get a bit closer to edges than before, because as you can see, it's sort of worn out down the bottom there, and it's almost exposing the blades, but yeah, not really causing any serious issues at this point in time, but something I've got to keep an eye out on. You can see a little bit of rust where it's peeled the paint off and stuff. You can also see a bit of wear and tear on the wheels. You can see just here, got a few holes that have sort of appeared on the wheels, just wear and tear. It's just everything's getting old, thinner, more worn out, but just shows you how much work this thing's done over the years. So you can imagine 23 years of mowing twice a week and then doing some heavy mows as well. And one of the things I used to do with this mower as well is that my wife used to be a real estate agent, and she used to sell houses down south. And one of the things about selling houses down south is that a lot of the people would vacate the premises and leave the properties on the market, and no one would be mowing those premises. So my wife used to ask, do you know anybody that can mow and get it done just before the home opens? And I used to put my hand up and go, yes, I'll take my mower down there. So I used to throw the mower in the back of the car, go down there and give it a mow. And you can imagine some of those places to be quite overgrown, and some of them quite rough, stones and dirt, and used to just plough through everything. And I used to also, when I was in Collie, I used to also help out a neighbour. He had about over 500 square metres of lawn. He was an elderly gentleman who was in his 90s, couldn't mow anymore, so I used to go out there and mow, and he had all tree roots and all sorts of stuff poking out of the grass, and I used to drive this thing through it and mow it for him, and he was always very grateful for the work I did for him. You can see there's other stickers missing here as well. There used to be a sticker there telling you what to do about the tap and how many times you've got to press the primer bulb. You can see the primer bulb's still the original one, nothing's broken, it's still there, it's still going strong. So yeah, it's quite amazing how well this mower's been built. But yeah, you can see the mower, yeah, it's had a pretty hard life, but still going strong, and quite amazing actually. Just another shot here from underneath. You can see a little bit of rust, and you can see the wear and tear there on the edge, the housing there, but yeah, it's got a 4-blade system. It's also a mulching mower, which I've used quite often. It actually does a really good job when you mulch, and cuts it down really fine, so it actually feeds your lawn, so it's a really good feature. You can see a little bit of rust, a little bit of wear, but everything's pretty much intact. It's quite amazing. You can see the front wheels, that wheel in particular there looks quite worn out. It's not much tread compared to the other ones, so maybe a little bit out of balance, but anyway, it's still going. And the catcher, no holes, nothing, it's all quite good and still going. Now for the moment of truth. As I said earlier, this mower, every time I've pulled the cord over the last 23 years, it fires up every single time on the first pull. So let's see if it starts up again. Look, it's not my main mower anymore. This is my main mower. I use this one now probably once a month maybe, and so it's been sort of partially decommissioned, but it still comes out occasionally. Let's see if it will fire up the first time. Okay, put it on run, tap on, got the primer bulb here, got to press that about 10 times. Okay, let's press it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, let's give it a crack, eh? Absolutely incredible. Fires up every single time, never fails. Absolutely amazing. A little bit of smoke, but you know what, it's 2-stroke, they all smoke, and but what a mower. Absolutely fantastic. As I mentioned, absolutely fantastic mower, something that Victa should be proud of. 23 years ago this had come out, hasn't lost a beat, still works fantastic. Yes, looks a bit worse for wear, but you know what? It's a brilliant mower, something we should all be proud of. That Victa could make something like this in Australia and it's lasted this long. It just keeps going like a true workhorse. So absolutely fantastic. Something I'm going to hang on to for quite a long time because it's going to keep going. I know that for a fact.